Okay, hello. Nice to be here. And let's dive in. So I want to spend some time doing some performance optimizations on Nuxt, and also I have a release to make. So once we get everything merged, actually I think we're good to go. I just need to make a very quick release, I guess, and then we'll do some performance improvements on Nuxt. Get checkout 3.x, get pull. Hello everyone, hello. Okay, so I'm seeing people chat, which is nice. Luke and Michelle, hello. Lots of people, amazing. Nice to see you all. Everyone on Twitch, nice to see you. And Mauritius, goodness, Florida. Oh, Florida. I feel that would be a lovely place to be right now. Mauritius as well. Like, that would be a place, definitely a place to be. Okay, hopefully, and so Samaya, nice to see you there as well. Hopefully, goodness, Tony, Damien, this is great. Lots of voices. Lovely. Thank you for joining. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Okay, so that's the aim. Speeding up Nuxt, that is. And I just want to make a quick release before I do so. Get fetch origin. Get log origin main. And particularly, there are a couple of things here that I need to merge. Okay, whoops. Get log. The last change, type issue with dev bundle, layers and directory guide. Okay, so there's not a huge amount more. I'm going to cherry pick some PRs from the main branch. Great, thank you. And this is the most important one. Great. And I'll push all of that up to the 3.x branch. Just confirming I haven't caused any lent issues. Seems good. And hopefully once those pass, we will release. So, and then you can all test it, which would be fantastic. Right. I want to go to Ukraine, by the way, Damien. I would love to go there. Okay. So while that's running in the background, let's explain this this performance issue. I have a report with a stackblitz, which is fantastic. I'm just going to download this so that I can run it locally. So I have this file, and I'm going to drop that into my project here. Oops, playground, and I'm going to make a new playground, and I'm going to unzip the file I just downloaded into it. So basically, it's now in my repository, and I'm going to need just to add these extra dependencies here. Cool. I'll run that, and basically these are all layers. Okay, so the point that that is being made. Hello, Iman, nice to see you. Okay, so the point that's being made is that, goodness, what am I doing? Is that, what have I got? I want to know what you said, telescope. Translate. It is. Hello. I'm not entirely sure what Gustav's stuff means, but hello. And Samir, nice to see you too. Okay, so basically these three layers dramatically apparently increase the startup time. So let's just confirm that. Let's just see what our startup time is. I've made another PR actually, which I hope. Okay, this is to do with the fact that we're in a shamefully hoist scenario. So I am going to have to install those dependencies. Oops. Storage, real-time, Postgres, and got true. I think that's it. And basically, Vite can't resolve optimized depths in this way. So that's probably actually something where we could improve the library that's using it, because there is a better way of doing that, but I don't want to get distracted. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. Josh from LinkedIn. Hello. Nice to see you. And Yolken. Nice to see you too. But this is crazy. It's not coming into Algora. So thank goodness I have Restream open. And Martin as well, coming in from YouTube. Thank you very much. Okay, so what we're doing, and comma Sundrift. Cool. So what we're doing here is we are going to try and improve the. I'm going to switch to 3DAX branch just to make this a bit easier. We're investigating a report of a performance regression, which looks quite plausible to me. And so I want to fix that basically, and I think we can fix it. There are also a few other performance related things I've been working on with Vite Dev Server Start. So I've got a PR open here, which is about changing the warm-up behavior, which I opened earlier this morning. And I also have a release, which I'd like to make as soon as the tests pass. So that's basically it. And it's afternoon here with me. I don't know everyone else. Probably the US is still morning. And if you're much further east, maybe Japan or something like that, you might be already at night, I guess. Okay, so right, back to this reproduction. So I want to open the playground again. Let's just see how long it takes to start. Yay. What is this? I just switched from the, I think I didn't. I just switched from my main branch to a 3DAX branch. So let's see. That is basically a bucket. Yes, absolutely. This thing, I love it. It's amazing. And okay, page not found. I guess that's probably fine. It must have pages. Is it 3,000? Yeah. Okay, but what I'm interested in is how long it takes to warm up or not. So this report here, optimized layer dependency, it's a comment on a pull request, and it basically says 40 seconds. There is no way this is 40 seconds to start. Afternoon. And Yolken. Yeah, it does seem that way. I wonder if Yeah, that might be what it is. That might be what it is. I'll see if I can restart Algora. No, it's not helping at all. I'll pass that on to Ioannis because I'm sure he can figure out a solution there. And I'll meanwhile pull in Restream, which will hopefully work. So I'm seeing messages are coming across again. Okay. Algora's back. Right. And Matthias, hello. Nice to see you. And yes, hey gang, that's absolutely right. Okay. Yeah, nice to see you. This is incredible. People chatting from different directions. Is Nuxt 4 being delayed to fix it? No, Nuxt 4 won't be delayed to fix bugs with Nuxt. If there is a bug, we're going to fix it in Nuxt 3 or Nuxt 4, but that's not a reason to delay the release. The reason Nuxt 4 isn't released yet is because we're waiting on Nitro. Our original announcement basically said that. So we have, let's see, where are we? We have a blog somewhere. And so we were talking about Nuxt 4, and we predicted originally that we would release on or before June 14th, but but it's dependent on having enough time after Nitro's major release to be properly tested. And the big reason we haven't released Nuxt 4 is that Nitro hasn't been released. But there's a lot of work to do on that. But that's the reason. So the changes in Nuxt have already been made, and you can test them with compatibility date. But the changes in Nitro haven't. So those changes are still being made, and there is lots of work going on it. That is currently what's happening right now. Okay, so what I want is to set. And you may have been joking, I don't know, but just to give a proper update. Hello, nice to see you, Yash. Okay, so this is saying it's taking 2 seconds to warm up, and there is this layer dependency thing where we basically resolve this. And if I remove that, let's see if it makes any. Yeah, Winter, I feel your pain. I don't want this to be painful. I want I want to basically make people not happy with I want people not to be afraid of major changes. Gugusna, nice to see you. And by the way, it's there's no more bridges. Okay, so that brings us down to 1.5. If I pull that up again, what is it going to be? 2.3 and 2.4, I guess. Yeah, okay. So that basically adds a second to this particular thing. This is nothing like what the reproduction said, which was 20 seconds. Okay, Daniel says he's still working on a rewrite. Good luck on that. Oh, sorry, it's super overlaid, the two of these. The main problem is that I guess Algora stuff doesn't come through into Restream, so I can't just... Sorry about this, people. Let's fix this. Okay, so Restream, I'm going to change it so it's not quite as tall. So I can move it down like that. Cool. So hopefully we can see both chat sources in the same time. Yes, Joaquin, 2 days in a row. I'm enjoying this. And minimize JS bundle size. So you should be pretty good with Nuxt. I don't. There's even a Nuxt 0 JavaScript version, so you really should be pretty free to get a 0 bundle size with Nuxt, or a low one, anyway. And Juan Adri, nice to see you as well. Yes, the release of version 3.12.3 is scheduled for today. In fact, I think I can actually just do that now. Just waiting for this test to finish. So this CI is the thing we're waiting for, and it should be good. But That's it. Oh, and I'll also run an ecosystem CI just to confirm. I'm expecting one failure. I've had a little bit of weirdness with i18n, but I don't think it's a bug in Nuxt, as in it occurs with the current version as well, not just the new one. So, right. Okay, I think 13 and 20, and let's see, is that what it's saying? No, this is saying 2. So clearly this might also be because I'm running in the monorepo with, so I'll just try this in a temporary directory. So I have this stack blitz, and I am going to fire that up. And hopefully this will show our issue. it's the name of the stack blitz, like slug. That's what it is. So right, ecosystem CI is running. We're going to keep a track on those 2 little yellow dots. Okay, and let's fire. Okay, so Vite server 4.5, 7.6. Okay, so I'm guessing this is just because I have a fast computer, as opposed to the 13 seconds. Nate, nice to see you. It's nice that you have appeared in the form of a sunrise. Okay, so that gives me something. Now I'm just very quickly going to test this in the, I guess we have Nuxt Vite Builder. I'll install that. Good evening, Guethio. Okay, let's code, node modules, that is what we want. And pop into here, and we're going to have a little look at this. No, come on. This. Okay, so we're just going to say const resolved layers. Wait a second, we already have that layer dirs here. So we're going to say layer dirs let's try it a different way. Okay, so const layer equals layer dirs find if layer, and then we're going to remove it. So we'll say layer dirs delete layer. Okay, so that delete, it is, oh, it's just a set. It's an array. So splice right. So let's give that a go. See if it makes any difference. Because basically this resolve call has to run. So as in it fixes a bug. Whoa, that is much faster. Let's just check that that's not because we have a cache. Yeah, okay, that is good news. If I drop that and then do it again. No. What else did I change here? Well, that's weird. What was it before? Before it was sum. Let's try that instead. Carlos, nice to see you. Will we have a and Wolga? Hello. Good evening with you. Okay, where are you? Where are you based? Good evening. That's must be a few hours east. Yes, definitely check out Alex's video. It's definitely worth doing. Standardization on use fetch use. Yeah, and actually I think he's planning on creating a new one too. Okay, so this is more like it. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay, now the one difference here is that okay, I do think we have to avoid doing this for both, as in we want to make sure that we run this for both. Find index and sum. Does that really make that much difference? Yeah, no difference. Now if I splice the layer, it should, right? Okay, that is a very considerable difference, I've got to say. Very, very considerable. So that's an obvious fix, I think, to make. Basically, the thing is that this resolve, this is just to trigger Vite to be aware of optimizing this dependency. Now, the one thing is that I have to avoid doing this. We want to do this for both server and client. So at the moment, we're removing it. Rexent, hello, nice to see you. Do I need to say one? Okay, so what I need to do is I guess we'll just port this directly into Nuxt. So we want to just quickly nip across to, ooh, is this done? It's just releasing the nightly build. Oops. Really? I'm gonna have to look at what on earth have we done. I'm gonna have to look at that. Is that genuinely something that we've done from Nuxt, or is that a... For goodness sake. No, that looks fine as well. That's just a snapshot failure, nothing to do with Nuxt. As in that's because the underlying Google Fonts CSS has changed. Right. So what am I doing? I am nipping into the Nuxt, and what we're doing is we're basically finding the index, and then we are going to drop it. We have to do a couple more things. We need to sort our layers. So layers sort, because we want them to be probably longest to shortest. And let's just confirm. Okay, so we want to reverse that. And we want to have two plugins. So we're going to call this we're going to say context Nuxt hook Vite extend config, which will be called in a second. And we're going to just push this in. That's going to create two versions of this plugin. And we're going to say, let's see. that's not good. We're just going to say layers. So we have a fresh one. And then we are going to mutate it like this. Okay. And the we're just going to stick this here, config plugins, push. Okay. Hopefully this is going to work. I can just very quickly try that here. And let's run that again. Yes, probably GitHub Copilot is doing any auto-completing that you may see. There's probably not anything else. And Canada Honk, hello, nice to see you. Goodness, yeah, I appreciate the stickers, by the way, for Pour4. Let's see. You can use $fetch in your server routes. I'm not sure about the fetch in any methods that are in clicky sound. I'll need to have a look. Just to quote the YouTube comment. And the keyboard that I use is, I have a link to it here on users. Okay, the utils $fetch, and let's just check. What did you say? Something about methods. Oh, the point being that you obviously, yeah, sorry, you can use it on the server side too. The point being that if you use it in a situation where it runs, it will execute on both sides. So you can use fetch. So the point here is about the difference between this and fetch. So fetch will not run it a second time on the client. But if you're only running it on the client, use $fetch instead, I think is what we're saying. Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Yeah, so use lazy fetch and use lazy async data are just really the same thing as use fetch and use async data, but with a lazy option. Sorry, pre-filled. Okay, so this is a really good performance improvement here. Really easy, really straightforward, and it's just going to avoid this resolve call being made more than once. And I think we can also do that. That might also add a little bit extra. Let's see. Anyway, it doesn't really make much difference. So I think this is a good performance fix, and we can drop that, pop back to main branch, and we are going to. Oh, did I somehow? I lost the comment. So copy this. And we're going to give it a better name. That will be something like layer index. And we'll explain why reverse. So longest directories are first. And also we need to confirm that the original bug is resolved. So the bug was that you can't use dependencies in a package layer, but I think that is resolved. I think that is resolved in as in I think it's tested in the reproduction we have. So I think that's good. how can you convince your CEO to allow you to use Nuxt? So Google uses Nuxt. Microsoft Edge's browser welcome screen is Nuxt. So I think that there's some big projects using Nuxt. So, but it always depends on your company. But I would love it. I would love it if you did. And yeah, Vergara, it's nice. It's nice to see you here. The optimizing new dependencies, basically that will occur whenever there's a new dependency discovered by Vite, and that will be if there'll be a range of things that might cause that. So if your Vite config changes, which might be because there's a different order of plugins. So sometimes modules or Vite plugins might add themselves at different times based on if they're doing some awaiting before they add it. That's one of the biggest issues that can cause that. Michelle, by the way, WebStorm is fantastic. So I've got it all set up, and so in the way that I like. So this is my WebStorm config. This is a little bit bigger than usual because I was using it for a stream, but I'll make it the size that I normally go for. And if I said make it 100%, there. Oh, for goodness sake. 1 second. 100%. Thank you. This is it's lovely, nice, minimal config. So yeah, WebStorm is lovely. Flash, Alex, hello. Sorry, I'm catching up on everyone's messages because they're coming from so many different places. Let's see. Oh dear. Bootstrap HTML. Woolrich. Okay, let's try this. Nice. Ta-da! It is 3.10.2. Good morning, Scam. It's not a very promising name, I've got to say. But yeah, nice to see you. Lovely. Okay, so okay, so I think this is good. This basically triggers the. Oh, wait a second. It's possible this won't work. Okay, oh, we just have to confirm it. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. That's a. Wait a second. That's a. Let's see if I have a better reproduction. Okay, this is better. Okay, let's see if we can reproduce this when I remove this plugin, and let's see if we can still, if it still works after the fix. So we're going to clone this reproduction. Yes, that is absolutely correct, Warflash. It's not something that we can do. The other thing you can do, yes, is actually exclude them. So Anthony Fu says that basically a lot of ESM dependencies don't need to be optimized, and so by optimizing them, you do extra work and it makes things slower. So adding them to exclude is always going to be better if you can than adding them to include. So just so you know. Okay, I have tried Z as well. It is also pretty cool, but it doesn't support. One of the reasons it's fast is because it doesn't have support for half the things that I use. So Nuxt yeah, I think we can totally exclude a known list of DSM dependencies. So any that we know that are valid ESM, we can add to the list. There's no downside, basically. Unlike include, because include will fail if it's not present, whereas exclude won't. Exclude will just work fine. Okay, so code Nuxt extends import bug. Let's just confirm that we can reproduce this thing with the or not the current version of Nuxt, and install the dependencies. Oh, do we have a, what is our Nuxt config? We don't seem to have any extends, but it doesn't seem to have been changed. Oh, services maybe. No? What is extending? Oh, it's this playground maybe. Oh, okay, yes, the playground is extending the root. Okay, so basically if we were to run nuxtdev playground and open here, this should be fine. It shouldn't give us any kind of error. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's change the implementation and see if we get the error. So we have this. Okay, so if I run that, nice thought, Rigora. Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, it's not showing me an error now without this thing. But at least let's just reset this and install the old version of Nuxt. See if it reproduced. Yes, you can provide the equivalent of hash class names by using scoped styles. That is a very, very useful thing. Okay, let's see. Also not reproducible. I think we should use yarn. Matteo, hello. How to deal with nesting server? I saw your comment, by the way, on that, Matteo. You can absolutely use one server component inside another server component. However, every time a server component is rendered, there is effectively some overhead. So the more you server components use inside each other, the more that overhead adds up. So you absolutely can do it, but you just have to be aware that it adds a little bit more overhead than just having a normal component inside another component. I think that's the main thing to be aware of. Okay, 3.5.3. And also it doesn't reproduce. Well, this is not great. So this reproduction, I don't know why. I think it's probably, okay, let's try something else. This one is called day.js. Yes, you can treat, there's like, you can absolutely treat them that way. They are universal. You can do that. There's no issue with using nested server components. It's just that internally it creates a fetch request in order to do it. So okay. So I have this day.js repo. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have two of these things. This seems more likely to produce the issue. So Nuxt layer, and if I install that dep, and we also have this Nuxt project, and I'll install that dep. And this should reproduce it. Let's see. Any reproductions? I think, Matteo, you should be fine with that. Yeah, you should be fine, particularly if you're pre-rendering the server components. Right, so this is a yarn bug, for goodness sake. I'll just install them in npm and see, hopefully we can reproduce that. It also looks like I might have a reproduction here from Jonas. Okay, ecosystem CI. Fonts, I think Nuxt fonts probably just needs to be updated. Like the snapshot. Let me just test that. Yeah, it is a prehistoric version of Yarn, but it's because the reproduction is using it, I think. Okay, install dependencies. And let's update our tests. Yes. The thing is, you can't have one server component as the root of another server component, but you should be able to use it within this other server component. Would I use wave instead of warp? Maybe. Do you have a link to it? Ooh, interesting. I like it. Cool. This seems good. I'll try that out. Thank you. Foji, nice to see you. Yeah, it's just a snapshot change. Honestly, I was thinking of maybe going back to Alacrity as well, which I've had very great. I love Alacrity. It's fantastic. Okay, so that's good. And that's run. So let's just test our fonts. And then I think Nuxt.com is a different issue, which I think Anthony is looking into. I think we might have some, basically the build isn't working. This is not to do with Nuxt, it's to do with something else, which is not great, but that's what it is. So I think we're good to go. Let's release Nuxt 3.12.3. How do people feel about that? Yes, let's do it. Alex, any reason not to? Tell me now, or forever hold your peace. No objections. Okay, you're responsible if anything goes wrong. Merge. Okay, let's release it. The release is a little bit simpler than before. We're going to say perf vite resolve whip. Pick that up in a second. Let's go to 3.x. I used to build it locally, but now I have a nice CI job that does it for me in GitHub Actions. So all I have to do is add a tag like that. Boom. And that should release it. So we now should have a little action running, which is this release action. And that should just magically release it. Yes, Rexent, well done. Absolutely, absolutely valid. You have, okay, right. So I'm just going to create a new release. And I'm going to say boom, boom. And we will pop that into announcements as well. Okay, there you go. You have seen the full release flow of Nuxt 3. Hopefully that is still, yep, provenance happening. I do love this, by the way, because now on NPM, when you have a look at like the Nuxt package, at the very bottom of the page, you can see that there's this provenance, which attaches the specific commit that was published, as well as the build summary and the release build file, which is incredibly, incredibly helpful. So is it the last release before Nuxt 4? I really can't say. The aim is, if not, it probably won't be. There'll probably be another next week. But the other thing is that the 3.x releases are still going to continue after Nuxt 4 is released. We'll be maintaining it for 6 months at least. No, the Discord announcement, I write them all. A webhook would be fine, right? But it would be less personal. Okay, so that's fully released. Please clone it and test it. Should we create a new project? So we do have the starter templates, which typically need to be updated. But if I start a new project, it should pull in the latest Nuxt app. Cool. Did this in fact pull in the latest Nuxt? Maybe not. Let's just force it. Yeah, it was not. It was my cache on my system was still on the older one. Bun, absolutely. Are you a fan of bun? Live release, yeah. Okay. So here are some things that you'll notice. One is it's going to prompt you to add a compatibility date, which we will do. The server warm-up is less, hopefully. Oops. Cool. Yeah, stuff working. Seems fine. Hey, Yoa, nice to see you. Okay. What am I thinking? Yes, Discord push notification. Do you get a push notification? Is that what happened? Rerun. Yep. Wait, none of this is Nuxt related, but we can still update it all. Right, what are we doing next? We are continuing this work on our performance PR, which is in here. But yeah, I needed to confirm these. Right, so how was I doing it? I have my layer, I have my project, and I have the project extends the layer, and the layer is the tarball. Okay, fine. So let's run the dev server. And what I'm expecting to see is this warning that we talked about appear. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is update to the latest version of Nuxt here, so 12.3, and see if we can reproduce the same. Obviously, the error won't appear. What are we going to do next? Honestly, the website. No, that is not a manual. That is a trigger when building the Nuxt.com website. And Nuxy upgrade, that's just going to be based on your npm cache locally. So give it a moment, and it should update. Okay, so now if I run the dev server again, this should be fine. Well, that's weird. Huh. Maybe that's somehow because the layer is using a different version of Nuxt. I'm not entirely sure why that's Nuxt project. I'm running this in the project, right? Okay. Let's say it's going to be and this needs to be 12.3. Good night, Kiruba. Okay, let's run our dev server again. Okay, that's working fine with the latest version. Now what I want to try is changing that bit of VBuilder, which says this. So if we get rid of this, does the bug come back? Which is what I want the bug to come back, right? I want to prove that this is doing something. Have I built a game like Counter-Strike? I have not. I will be very honest with you, I'm not sure I could build a game like Counter-Strike. Okay, it doesn't seem that that is needed anymore. This might be a Vite bug that has gone away, basically. So, yeah, this might not be needed. Hey, nice to see you. Fanling. And YouTube and Twitter are almost in sync. Does that mean you have both open? That would be super impressive. Okay, so it seems like this isn't needed anymore. This might actually not be needed, but at the very least, this is going to make it faster. So if we open this, at the very least, it's going to only run once instead of for every import. So let's update it and push it and basically say perf vite void an extra resolve call for every layers. Cool. And let's just open that as a PR. Oops. What am I looking for? I think it must be that. Excellent. Good to hear that, Regura. There should be some decent bug fixes there as well. Found that the extra resolve call was adding a bit of overhead. I couldn't reproduce the original issue with the current version of Vite. So this plugin may not be necessary anymore. Okay, Kutuware. Well, I will take a look at that in a moment. However, by reducing it to a single resolve call per layer per build, I think we have a better, reasonable compromise. But we might move entirely in the future. I'll add a comment. To do this may no longer be needed with the most recent version. Okay. Okay. And this will be layers, performance, and it can be 3 layers as well. Cool. This seems good to me. Quick lint. There's always a lint. Okay. Great. Okay, I have a second one. Now, Nuxt Vitalizer, by the way, I mean, I'm aware of it. I'm not sure that what it does is actually always right, or we would have already merged it into Nuxt. But because there are reasons for prefetching like JavaScript files that will be required. And in general, I would prefer like for there to be a fix, for it to be like in. So in general, these are triggering like rightly in a sense. We can't know from Nuxt. So all we know is there's a dynamic import into your component. We don't know how likely it is that dynamic import will be used. So whether it should be prefetched. Prefetch should be at a lower level of priority. So it leaves it up to the browser how quickly to prefetch it based on your bandwidth. Prefetch is not meant to be a blocking thing. It's informing the browser that this exists. So it should be safe, right? Obviously, if we know that something shouldn't be prefetched, that's a different matter, but it will add extra delay when it is needed. So things like this, a third-party library with loads of icons, well, yeah, you shouldn't prefetch that, but we don't know if it's a third-party library with loads of icons or a file that will be needed straight away. So this isn't really something for, this is a tricky thing to solve, is what I'm saying. And it is user customizable, as Alex says, with modifying things in the manifest here. Okay, what am I going to do? So I think I am going to take a look at some other performance things. CSS HMR bug. Yeah, this is very helpful. It is almost certainly a Vite bug. So well, it might not be, but it might be. So Matthias Patak. Oh, by the way, you probably can ignore the large chunk warning for your Vite server build. It's only really the client build that you would care about. Oh yeah, then that is something you should have a look into. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That might be a tricky thing for me to have a look at. AKYM, yeah. Oh, so I don't know what Sebastian reached out to him about, but the issue that I created was this. So in particular, I think rendering payload links in HTML if no script is on is a bug, but Tim encountered that, so we need to investigate that. So let's see. Let me just confirm it. Let's see if it's true. So if we have an app here, and we turn on features no scripts, and we render it, we should not have any payloads. What? Oh. Yep. See you later, Rex. Rexent. Okay, so, okay, we need the... Hey, Nerexius. Nice to see you. Import attributes could be used. That's not a bad idea. I like the sound of that. Okay. Yep, I might take a look at that in a second. But first, this is also a very quick bug, I think, to resolve. So in our renderer, we add payload links. What we add? We're adding payload links. They are present here. So we have this preload as fetch. So we somehow here have this, and we need to confirm that there is no scripts. Great, straightforward. Let's redo it. Cool. So we also don't need to render the payload at all. Why is it being rendered? X nitro. No, I think it is right. Okay, we're just changing what's the HTML that's rendered. We might still need the payload for some other reason. So we'll say fix payload no scripts and say fix Nuxt commit rendering payload prefetch when no scripts. Oops, this one. And whoops, wrong one. We do consider the root rule. I need another category of bug, by the way. Like I have P3 minor bug and I have P2 enhancement, but there are some bugs which are extremely edge cases, which I feel like they're not as high as minor bug. It should be like a P2 edge case or something like that. And this is such, like this is a very, very rare bug that will not affect most people, but it's still technically a bug. And there we go. Yeah, it's true. I would be up for a refactor of that. If you have some suggestions, yeah, no, that's true. That is true. Okay, so I agree with you. We have some dependency updates. I see Anthony is at work. This is definitely Anthony doing things, DevTools and 2slash at the same time. That's always nice to see. Okay, so that is one thing. And I'll just pop this in here. And okay, come on. Dave Stewart. Crazy. Okay. So that's good. I need to remember to try this out. Definitely. Okay, so I've got a raft of performance PRs stacking up. Someone raised this inline styles thing, and this is a tricky one. So this is the point about, so it's true that there's some duplication of CSS. Okay, now there's two issues here. Let me see if the reproduction is a good one. Download. And this is that. Okay. We are just going to reset our playground. Pop across into main. Cool. Revert any changes to package.json. Yep. Okay, and then we just need to do one quick thing. Cool. Right. What am I checking? CSS duplication. Okay. So let's build and run it and see what the situation is. Oops, there's another thing running. Hey, Patrick Jane. I am a big fan of your work. Okay, so here is our page. Let's just have a look at what is being rendered. So I'm going to copy that to my terminal. We're going to inspect it in our editor. And this is a looks like this. What happened? Did I disappear? Am I here? Yeah, I disappeared. I'm back. Good. Okay, so we have this. So the question is this rendered twice? So like, or how much is rendered twice? So we have this. Okay, so that's here. Ah, interesting. Because this is not right. Okay, so there we go. So basically we have this down to, let's just copy that and search for it here. Yeah, so the entirety of this chunk is present in the HTML. That's great. So we should know we don't need the entry. And actually this is a little bit of a, yeah, this is definitely a bug. So let's investigate it. Right. So okay. So so we are trying to track this, and that's some of the stuff going on in this crazy plugin. So we need to be able to know that no, fire away, Patrick. It will definitely distract me, but that is totally okay. And I'm going to wrap up in the next 20 minutes or so anyway, so much better to ask. Okay, so we basically have our bundle. And here is where so this is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to omit the links to the CSS. So we have the chunks with inline CSS, and let's just log them. So let's try building it again. Those. Okay. And where do we handle that? So we handle that here. So but we explicitly disable the entry. But we set global. Yeah, for the theme, you can see my website. Okay, so this is great. Algora is back. It seems to be working again with a different. Yeah, Vitalizer is doing it wrong. This is not right. Like I only want to remove the CSS that is inlined. There is CSS that might not be inlined. Okay, so as in, like, if you want to get rid of all the CSS, that's one thing. But like, we have to know for sure that it's correct, right? So like, it might be fine for you. That's why it's not. That's why it's not built in, I think. I think I need to turn on the format and save option. Right. Okay. So we have global CSS, and we're right. Okay, this is going the other way. This is going the other way. So this doesn't actually handle the removing of the CSS. But it could, right? Let's try it. I have format and save, and I don't want it prettier. I used to like prettier. I'm now not a fan. I would use this, I guess. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if the view extension is making a difference there. Okay, it seems that Restream is working properly, so I'm just going to pull this down. Hopefully that will be working again. Oh, right, we need to just confirm, is the CSS injected later? No. So the question is, why did I have the, okay, no, this next piece, remove CSS from Vite preload arrays. Okay, so we do need to do that as well. So and I think we can actually do that. That's a good to do. Okay, we can investigate that as well. Right, so, but yes, let me just see the line history on this one. Okay, I guess the first step is to have a little test and see if our fixtures still pass. Hi, Mohav. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. That would be really nice to see. This Git tool. This is just VS Code. This is VS Code. So, yeah, each to his own, I guess. If it's something you like, then great. So here we go. We have wave, and now we have an opportunity to change the theme. Interesting. I'm honestly not that into AI in my terminal, but okay, this is basically warp, but not. Cool. And I don't want that either. So, okay, I'll give this a go. I'll see what it's like. I do need to change the theme so it matches, but I actually want a theme, please. How can I configure the theme? I can give you specific themes, but I can provide color codes, but I do care. Okay, surely it's possible to configure the theme. How do you change the colors? Limited customization. I see. Okay, I will play around with that a little bit more later. Right, so where are we? We are trying our, yes. Okay, well that's fine. Does not load style sheet for page styles. We basically have I guess the main worry is we do have to make sure that client-only styles still get added. So if we had this file here and then we had maybe another component like my client-only component, we need to make sure that this is loaded, right? So my client-only component is going to be, and it's going to have I am taking a look at the I don't quite know, this seems, I'm going to just refresh that Algora frame. There we go. I'm just taking a look at a performance issue with inline styles, and it looks cool. Okay, should not include inline CSS. Interesting. So we'll have to look at that in a second. Here we should just confirm, yep, that is fine. And what is happening to our CSS? We're getting, okay, things on, oh, interesting. That's the client-only CSS is inlined as well. Cool, which is a fun trick. Like implementing that was definitely not an easy one. Okay, so we have one more fail. Yes. Okay, what's failed? We no longer have this. Okay. Oh, interesting. I wonder if we now have virtual red in our, let's just try that. Nuxt build test fixtures basic, And we need to see that when we hit styles. Okay, I'm interested in public asset plugin, PCS assets, shared component. Okay, so basically, all right. So it is good that we have such full tests here, because this is showing that the virtual import which is not being added to the inlined CSS, but it should be. I mean, it would be better if it were added to the inline CSS. But the point is, this is an example of, like, I think how Uno adds their CSS and also Tailwind. And if they're doing like that, it isn't not working properly with style inlining. Maybe we solve that at the same time. Okay, so resolve ID and load. Which one was it? Virtual.css. Okay, so virtual CSS is coming here. Let's just see what the result of that resolve is. Okay, it's coming in. And yeah, we're marking it as not having side effects. Okay, that's all we're doing there. And what I need to do here right, I forgot there were so many options. Let's just hide this for a second. I would recommend, by the way, orb stack. It's nice, but it does require you to log in. But it is a nice, more performant thing. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, we've got our code. It's server mode, and we are on our server mode, so none of that applies. Let's just log this. Ah, that might be the issue. Okay, that's all fine. But maybe this is the problem. Okay, so we've got this here, and does it have virtuals.css anywhere in here? This is what I'm interested in. Let's see. Yeah, we do have virtual.css. And of course. Okay, great. So I think the issue here is probably this. So if let's try that. Right, I must go. It's been a super pleasure. I'm just coming up to a call, so I will talk to you later. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It's been so much fun, and sorry this is a sort of sudden disappearance, but I'm glad I'm diving into this, and hopefully I'll have something on this issue to resolve. And yeah, let me know if you have any issues on 3.12.3, and otherwise, yeah, be in touch. See you later. It's been so much fun. Cheers. Bye.